When you've been arrested for a DUI, it is extremely complicated and confusing as to what the next steps are. One of the questions that most people have is, who is my best representation to help me win this case? Get me the best results in this case. We have 15 questions that I think are very important that you should ask anyone that you're interviewing to be your lawyer. It will give you some guidance as to whether or not they truly specialize in DUI cases and what their national and statewide reputation is as far as the DUI cases go. Number one, do you specialize and does your firm specialize in DUI cases? That is exactly what I would ask. Many times you can look at a website and see if an attorney is doing a lot of different areas of law and is not specializing in DUIs. Other times, the website may appear to be that the lawyer is specializing in DUIs, but they really don't do DUIs to the level that is necessary to defend your case.
I want a new lawyer.
So these are the other questions I would go through asking them. Number two, what is your success rate in defending DUIs? That is a very important question that can be won at a lot of different levels, from the beginning as far as negotiating, through motion hearings, through the trial, including jury trials, also through the appellate process. So that success rate is an extremely important question you want to know the answer to. Number three, how many jury trials have you done as it relates to defending a DUI case? This is a very important number because you want the entire number of trials someone has done and how much experience they're going to have at defending your case if a jury trial is necessary. Number four, how many motion hearings as it relates to a DUI case have you completed? The reason this is so important is because the motions are where we're arguing that evidence should be suppressed, and it is a very important part of your case. The lawyer that you hire must have had many motion hearings, and we've conducted hundreds, if not thousands, in our career as far as this firm goes. Number five, you need to ask the lawyer how many appeals he has handled through the completion at the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals is the body that has the right to direct appeals on all of our misdemeanor cases. So we all have a right to appeal to that court after a verdict has been rendered in your case. Number six, you need to ask the lawyer how many cases that they have successfully argued at the Georgia Supreme Court. The reason that's important is because the Georgia Supreme Court must resolve all constitutional questions as it relates to statutes and laws that are in place. So many of my appeals, or many of the important appeals as it relates to the DUI cases, have gone to the Georgia Supreme Court to resolve whether or not the statutes and whether or not the surrounding ramifications of them are constitutional. Number seven, you need to find out whether the lawyer has handled any DUI cases at the U.S. Supreme Court. It is a very important aspect of your case because many of the DUI resolutions and many of the ramifications of them have been heard by the U.S. Supreme Court over the last 30 years. So arguing cases at the U.S. Supreme Court is certainly an important aspect of what you need to know. Number eight, a lot of people don't realize this, but police officers make a lot of mistakes.
I became a cop because my doctors thought it would be a good idea for me to get out of the house.
One of the areas where a lot of these mistakes are seen are in the field sobriety test. You need to ask any lawyer you're interviewing whether they are certified to actually conduct the standardized field sobriety evaluations, and also whether they're certified as an instructor in the standardized field sobriety evaluations. As an example, I went to court in the last week, and one of my clients, we showed the prosecutor that she had passed all of the field sobriety evaluations that were done correctly, and that she had failed the ones that were done incorrectly. In other words, we showed the prosecutor that there was absolutely no proof of impairment in this case.
Next case.
Number nine, a lot of times police officers make mistakes as it relates to drug cases. One of the issues that we see are drug recognition experts, DREs is what we call them, doing a lot more investigations as it relates to DUI cases.
You want to take this one, Rod?
Hell yeah!
Bet you do.
Go!
These DRE investigations involve a 12-step process with a very specific rules and parameters that these police officers are required to follow. Many people do not know what those parameters and requirements are. You should definitely ask the lawyer that you're interviewing whether or not they are DRE trained on the protocols of this 12-step process. Number 10, a lot of times the law enforcement officers involved in a DUI investigation are making mistakes in the science, and that's a very important part of the case. Your lawyer that you're talking to should definitely have training in regards to gas chromatography at a place like 𝐟𝐸𝐵𝐿g Labs in Chicago. At those locations, the lawyers are trained on how to do the gas chromatography, and more importantly, they're trained to look for all the pitfalls and mistakes that the police officers and law enforcement officers are making as it relates to this testing. Number 11, have you been trained on the 𝐼𝐸𝐺 9000? In Georgia, the only machine that's certified as a breath testing instrument to be admissible in court is the 𝐼𝐸𝐺 9000 made by CMI, located in Owensboro, Kentucky. The certification process and training on the 𝐼𝐸𝐺 9000 will expose many reasons that the breath test can be unreliable and inadmissible in court.
One of you dames has to help me. This thing is broken.
This is an extremely part of training that is necessary for a lawyer to expose weaknesses and errors in the case. Number 12, you should ask the lawyer if they have trained other lawyers in regards to DUI defenses. That is an extremely important part of the questions that you need to find out, because the best lawyers in the United States are training other lawyers on how to defend these DUI cases. So I would ask the question of, have you done training in regards to other lawyers at a national DUI conference, a statewide DUI conference, or a local DUI conference? Number 13, you should ask any lawyer how many motion hearings and jury trials they average a month. This is an extremely important part of your case to determine how active your lawyer is at defending DUI cases. In regards to these questions, you can also ask for redacted verdict forms, so they can show you proof that they've actually done the jury trials. And you can also ask for redacted motion hearing orders. So on each motion hearing, the judge will be signing an order determining what evidence is admissible or not admissible. And you can certainly get that once the lawyer has removed their client's name. Number 14, you should definitely ask any lawyer you're interviewing whether or not they are in a leadership role at any local, statewide, or national DUI organizations. The two largest national DUI organizations are the DUI Defense Lawyers Association and also the National College of DUI Defense. Finally, number 15, one question that you should ask any potential lawyers is whether or not they have won any appellate cases that have affected all DUI cases in the state of Georgia. The reason this is so important, it would show that your lawyer is innovative. They certainly have an expertise in the area of DUI law, and they also have the commitment to follow through and go through with an appeal all the way through either the Court of Appeals of Georgia, the Supreme Court of Georgia, or the United States Supreme Court. That resolve is very important in finding the right lawyer. In our next video, we're going to go over some of the most common mistakes we see police officers make that can have a positive impact on your case when we exploit them properly.